Welcome to Android Fragment. We are discussing about Fragment, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel Unisys. And we discussed about this part, how to code for this part, and we are discussing about landscape mode. Here I don't want below the list view, I want besides the list view. For that, what I need, this, remember this I define in activity main layout. So when system executes the app, it takes the layout from here and it's inflated now. When it comes to the landscape mode, it has to take this layout and it has to inflate. For that, what we need to do, we create a folder in layout here. In this resource folder, we need to create layout-land. So whenever the mobile in landscape mode, it sees first in layout-land, and it takes if it exists. So here it is set content view. In activity, when it sees set content view activity main, then it sees first, because mobile in landscape mode, if it sees first here, it is there, inflate this row. If it is there, it is there, right? I copied it, and same thing I copied. Now my requirement is horizontal instead of vertical. This is vertical, I am horizontal, so I made it like orientation is vertical, horizontal, it's horizontal, and I given the fragment weight 1, so equal space. So I got it layout like this, horizontal, equal space. Now when it sees this activity main is present in this, it will take this layout instead of from the layout folder. In activity main, layout also is there, but it don't take when mobile in landscape mode. It will take this one. If it doesn't exist in this land, then it will take from the activity main. It exists, so it has taken now. So same thing, except the layout vertical origin, remaining everything is same for this requirement. So it taken, and everything is same, and it is clicked. Remaining functionality is same. When I clicked on the row, it comes here. When I click on the item on the list view, it comes here. It returns that linear layout address, and then comes here, and then we get the data on that row, and we call set data. See here, when the layout fragment is included in that layout and it instantiated that fragment, then only this fragment manager gives us that reference to that. If you don't see anything in that fragment in that layout, it is not been instantiated, it don't give object to that, it will be null. So I have given it instantiated, it is not null, and it set data. So that's all about this requirement. And when it comes to another requirement, I don't want to display like this. Instead, when I click on the row, I want to open another activity. I start another activity. In that entire activity, I will display this employee details. So this activity will have only 3 fields. That's why. So I place this fragment on this activity. I place this fragment on this activity. How I can do? So when activity So this requirement is not there. So when layout in portrait mode, when it comes to activity main, what my requirement is, I don't want to split the same activity into two parts. Instead, I want to start an activity and display the records. So our activity, main activity, only list view is there, so I should not code this. Don't code this. So first activity will have entire screen, we have a list view. When I press down the item, then what I do, I will call the same method and I comes to here, I get the data. Here, this scenario, I don't code this, a fragment in that activity main. So it takes the layout activity main, and since it sees that no fragment was instantiated, it comes to the here. I will start an activity now. I am starting activity now here. See here, I am starting amp details. I have created one more activity. Create the one more activity like this, new activity, and create the one more activity, and I need to pass this values to that activity, then only I can display it on that activity within that fragment. So I pass these values through intent, you know already how to pass the values to intent. We need to call put text on that, and we need to key values amp number and value, key values amp name and value, salary value, and start intent. There you get intent and retrieve this data. So I started activity, then I go to the activity class, which is activity class amp details. I'm getting now, I'm going now. Here, see here, this floating point button is always there. So I have given a floating point over there. So system is given this floating point to delete the records. Let's leave it as. See, here activity, I am placing the fragment on this. So I am nothing I am doing in activity. I need to have a fragment and place it on it. So for that, what I do, I go to the activity, the next activity, this activity, sub-activity, no, don't say sub-activity, no, okay, sub-activity, and that is the parent. So child activity, you can say, that activity, and that activity XML file is this. This activity XML file, I don't have anything in that. I will have only fragment, because my activity should have only fragment. So I included that fragment. This is system generated. So for when you have a real-time projects, we must include like this. Otherwise, there are so many layouts and so many as per requirement. We have so many over there, not like here simple. So I define that fragment in the content and detail. See this is a fragment tag. So I included, when I included, it will come here. The system, while compiling, it places it here. So for readability, we included that fragment. So this activity have only fragment. So when activity started, when it is sets the set content view, when it try to create instance of this layout, it sees only fragment, and that fragment will be instantiated. What is that fragment? The same fragment I am using. I reuse the fragment, detail fragment only. I reuse the fragment. Here, see here, I reuse the fragment, because same fragment I am, for simplicity, for understanding purpose, I have coded here. previously,